Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sports Today. This is this one channel where you get deep insight into the games going on right now. Of course, the cricket season has taken over the world, especially India, which is happening in Dubai. But along with that, we also give you insight as to how you can improve your game off the field, which is fantasy gaming. But before that, let's talk about yesterday's match where CSK lost by 10 runs. Now, interestingly, CSK was chasing a target of 168 and, of course, was on track for the first half of the innings. But then something happened. And, of course, Twitter just blew up. And that one big question that came in is Kedar Jadhav, CSK's dilemma. I've got some experts out here with me to answer this question for me. I've got Bodha Majumdar, I've got Pragyan Ojha, and Rajashi Gupta. I'm going to start with you, Pragyan. When you saw that particular innings from Kedar, what is the kind of questions that arise in your head?
See, it's not about today's game. It's
Yeah.
about what's happening since so many days. See, now every time I always come back to the same thing. Every time CSK does something which the fans don't like, or there are some people who don't like, they start talking about MS Dhoni. But you have to see, is it humanly possible for only one individual to be responsible for everything? We cannot blame him. We have got Kedar Jadhav who's not firing. He's not looking the way he should have. We all expect him to perform. And then the opening just got sorted. We had MVJ, who was not looking that great. And when you have so much going on in your team, then how do you expect? And also, MS Dhoni came up. He wanted to bat up because he is trying to cover up that spot. There are two big spots to be, filled. One was Suresh Raina, the way he was playing all these years for CSK, and now Kedar Jadhav is not performing. So it becomes very difficult for you. And you see, there is not much difference. The start that CSK got, they had some 90 odd runs. The same was with KKR. And the first 10 overs I'm talking about. The next 10 overs, if you see, the same with KKR, it was some 73 odd runs, and CSK was 67 odd runs. There was only 10 runs gap. And when you go so close to the game, everything is similar to this opponent, and you lose so closely. It is only because of those small mistakes which you have not rectified since you have started your campaign.
Yes, but having said that, Bodha, MS did have options there. Would Jadeja be a better option to center that position than Kedar Jadhav?
I disagree with Pragyan and disagree with a big D. Big D. I mean, Pragyan is trying to sort of cover up for MS here. He's played with MS, played under MS, loves MS. But this is nothing to do with MS. MS is the boss. He's captain. Who asked him? I mean, come on. 12 runs and over asking rate, Kedar Jadhav comes in ahead of Bravo, ahead of Jadeja, ahead of Sam Curran. What? I mean, the moment Kedar Jadhav stepped out there, if you see, I posted in our group, Kedar, how many times in the last few games has Kedar Jadhav looked to win you a game? And he's talking about 10 runs Pragyan. He also knows that the last four balls, Andre Russell was just bowling them as routine because, they had won the game. Last four balls resulted in about, 16 odd runs, two sixes, and 1 4. Those were useless runs. So they've actually lost by 20. Now, they had an asking rate at the end of 10 overs of about 8. And then you lose by 20. So effectively, you scored at 5. And in a chase where the asking rate is 12, Kedar Jadhav gets 7 of 12 or something like that? That's madness. You have Dwayne Bravo, you have Sam Curran, you have Ravindra Jadeja who comes and tonks the ball. Absolutely, you're right in promoting yourself. What is Kedar Jadhav doing in this team? He's not a gun fielder. You can take his arm on and take one extra run every time the ball goes to him in the deep right. He's not bowling a single over. He has not contributed with the ball a single over. So where is Kedar Jadhav's spot? Why are you not playing a youngster? You wanted to groom Ruturaj Gaikwad. Groom him for God's sake. When is Kedar Jadhav, going to win you a single game? I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni should be taking this call sooner than later and question this call of Kedar Jadhav in the team and at that position.
Having said that, Rajaji, what do you think would have been the strategy that would be in MSD's mind when he sent Kedar? What could be the reason behind that?
No clue. It was like Boreas, and I also will have to tend to disagree with Pragyan here because look at it. There were two things about the Chennai chase. Okay,
Yeah.
the one summary is that it was a botched up chase. At the end of 10 overs, Chennai were 190 for one. Shane Watson going hammer and tongs. At the end of the day, this game, a lot of people have been talking about how this was a perfect game for KKR. I don't think so either. We'll come to that later, maybe. But there were two things. This was a game which Chennai lost because they messed up more. They made many more mistakes. What was Kedar Jadhav? Look, Sam Curran and MS Dhoni. Sam Curran had just started to take the onus. Again, between MS Dhoni and Kedar Jadhav, they faced 24 deliveries between themselves and scored how much? 18 runs at a time when you needed about 10 to 11 and over. Again, what is Jadhav doing ahead of uh, Dwayne Bravo, Ravindra Jadeja? I really don't know what the strategy was because if you're sending him ahead of these two to counter the guile of Sunil Narayan, and remember, Andre Russell would have obviously bowled those 2 overs. To counter Andre Russell, you would have got Dwayne Bravo because they play together. Dwayne Bravo is very, very used to Sunil Narayan. Very used to Sunil Narayan. He's used to Andre Russell. These three play for the West Indies together, the T20s. They've also played the CPL in the same team. So I really don't know if you're asking me about a strategy. These days, these strategies around certain teams, certain models of captaincy, it's baffling. Ridhima, to be very honest, we're talking about the greatest captain India has ever had, but some of these captaincy calls, some of these decisions have been baffling. Are you talking about a strategy from, you understand that MS Dhoni, whatever he thinks, sometimes, mere mortals like us cannot fathom out. But this
Yeah.
has been a string of failures. This has been a series of failures on the part of Kedar Jadhav. So the pertinent question remains, does Kedar Jadhav even deserve a spot in the team? Forget the 11. What non-Ruturaj Gaikwad? Understandably, you want to give Watson and Faf du Plessis as much batting as possible. You're getting them to open. But if you have Faf du Plessis batting at number 3, with Shane Watson and Ruturaj opening the innings, that itself gives you a lot more heft to the entire batting lineup. So I really don't know what is MS Dhoni and Stephen Fleming doing. What are these two gentlemen doing, and why is Kedar continuing to bat at this crucial position?
Right. And Pragyan, if you think about it, how frustrating does it get for a batsman like Jadeja when he comes in and he's firing, but he doesn't have that leeway remaining in the match?
Very true. You have to send your in-form batsman. That's a no-brainer thing. That's what I feel. Like I don't know what MS Dhoni. See, Boryada said I have a soft corner for him because the achievement he's got for the country and the way he's played his cricket. But Kedar Jadhav, when you talk about Kedar Jadhav, I don't agree with the spot that he's playing at right now, and I don't see the way they're backing him. I think it's time they move ahead of him and give somebody else the chance. That we're talking about Rituraj Gaikwad, as he can only open, and you should give him that position because he has been batting there and he's got runs there. Saying that, when you have Dwayne Bravo, as rightly Rajesh Das said, he's played against Russell, he's played against Narayan. They have been practicing together, or maybe they've played lot more cricket together and against each other in CPL and West Indies. So I feel those guys could have come in, and especially when you know that Kedar Jadhav is not firing and you badly need these wins. You cannot lose games now. If you lose, you're totally out of the tournament.